Hello everyone, welcome to day number 2 of the semifinals in the FIDE Grand Prix 2022 in Berlin, Germany. Tabatabaei forces a playoff in the semifinals as Wesley blundered so badly in this game. One critical moment ruined Wesley's chance to get into the finals. But it's not over yet. We will still have a playoffs tomorrow. But it was a missed chance by Wesley. Okay, let's check out the game. Tabatabaei was white, started with d4. Wesley went for knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4. So we have the names are Indian. Knight into f3, this castles, the 3 knights variation. a3 takes. White has this double pawn. Normal reaction by Wesley, c5, right, to fix that weakness on c4 and c3. White goes for g3, b6, bishop on g2, bishop b7, d5, d6. Alright, you may think that, oops, this is a free pawn, e takes d5, but actually no. White has this covert attack with knight h4, right? Pins the bishop on b7, and white will regain that pawn back on d5. If let's say you go d6, white can even just castle first. You go knight b, d7, so you take d5. And white can go for c4, bishop b2, right, with a comfortable game, especially with this pair of bishops. Alright, Wesley went for d6, castles, queen to e7. It was also possible to play queen c7 to at least protect that bishop on b7. Same plan, knight h4, knight to b7, right here. e4, and then maybe instead of that queen on e7 on the e file, maybe we can use this rook aea. Alright, so Wesley went for queen e7, knight h4, knight b7, rook e1. This plan by Wesley might be related to this one, if white takes on e6. Because black has takes on g2, takes on f7, then queen takes f7. That's probably the reason why he chose that queen e7 move. So if white decides to take on e6 and f7, he has his queen takes f7 and attack on c4, knight takes g2, and then queen takes c4. Okay, Tabatabaei went for rook e1, knight into e5. White just gave up that pawn on c4. Knight takes c4. No worries. It's bishop f1. Okay. Wesley went back for knight e5. Interesting line here would be b5. Let's say rook to b1, then takes on d5. But this is very messy. White can go for knight f5. For example, you go queen d7. White will take knight, takes the knight, bishop g5. If the knight moves, if let's say knight takes e4, there's queen g4. Right? Threatening knight h6, discovered attack on the queen, and also the pressure on the g7 pawn. So that was a possibility if Wesley played b5. So he went for knight e5. Knight g6 to exchange the knight on h4. If let's say white decides to play f4 here, then he has knight g6. So white went for c4, central grip on the d5 pawn. Knight g6, knight g2, nice retreat, not on f3. Knight f3 is not so good, yes. Wesley can just simply play rook aea to that pin on the e file here. And we don't have this f4 push with The knight also has no better square. Well, on g2 it can go to e3, attacking both f5 and d5. So as they went for b5, attacking the defender on the d5 pawn, takes and b5 takes. He takes d5, queen d7. So now the knight and the bishop is hunting the d5 pawn. Knight e3, the main point of knight g2 to e3 to protect d5. Rook f e8. Not too sure about rook f e8. Okay, black has two choices here. It's either using the knight to e7, attacking this pawn on d5 if bishop e2, then this rook. Or you could just go rook a e8 straight away, right? Not the other way around. This was a wrong rook. What's the difference? Let's say, for example, white plays bishop b2 after rook a e8. Knight takes d5, right? Same thing. Knight takes d5, takes on e1, queen takes e1, bishop takes d5, rook to d1. Now you can go knight h4, right? Why was it different from the other rook? It's just that wrong rook, right? Okay, if rook d3 this time, knight f3, takes on f3, takes f3, queen c3, we have queen g4 protecting the bishop, h3, queen d4. Because you cannot take on f3, the rook is not hanging over there. Right? That single move. It's an important rook move, right? According to Nimzowitsch, my system. The wrong rook. I think rook f e8 was the decisive mistake in the game. Rook f e8, wrong rook. Okay, it controls the open file. But it would have been better to play the other one to stay away from this danger zone. See what happens in the game, right? Bishop to b2. Okay, knight takes d5. Knight takes d5, rook takes e1, takes, bishop takes, rook d1. The terrible blunder by Wesley. Why is it not working with this rook? Okay, rook d3 was played by Tabatabaei. Now, if you go knight f3, takes on f3, bishop takes, queen goes to c3, attacking the pawn on g7, and that bishop on f3. And if you go queen g4, h3, if you go queen d4, queen takes f3, hitting that rook on a8, right? And that bishop hits the queen on d4. While if you played earlier, well, just one move, just imagine that one single. If you play okay, from this position right here, the other rook, okay, should be 2, takes, let's try again, takes, rook takes e1, takes, bishop takes d5, same, rook to d1. Now you can play knight h4. After rook d3, check, takes, bishop takes f3, queen g4. If you play h3, queen to d4, right? Because if you capture the bishop, the rook is here, not here. Then you go queen takes b2. So how was it? Wrong rook by Wesley. Probably in his mind, the plan was still there, right? But he played the wrong rook. And he still continued with his plan. It's more of like intuition, not really the calculation, but it's different now. And this is very unfortunate, yeah. Wrong rook. Queen c3, bishop e4, bishop e2, nice move. The queen is tied up to the g7 pawn. Queen to g5, rook takes d6. Knight into f5, queen e5, pin, takes. Knight 7, a4. And a very premature resignation by Wesley. Same number of pieces, 5 pawns each, 2 minor pieces each. but he resigned. Of course, the power of these 2 pawns, yeah, thus the bishop here. He didn't want to continue. He wants to reserve his energy for tomorrow's playoff. Okay, the position is, of course, losing. Yeah, but he could have tried, but maybe to no avail. But again, the lesson for today was that the rook, the wrong rook. So we have to be careful with our pieces, with squares, where to put the bishop, knight, and this. Okay, it's an open file, by the way, but Wesley had to use the A rook instead of the F rook to stay away from H1 to A8 diagonal. All right, that was the story for today. Wesley blundering that piece on H4 with that single rook move, also rook Fe8, and Tabatabaei forces a playoff for tomorrow. We are still hoping for Wesley to win the playoffs and get into the finals and hopefully play Nakamura as well. It will be an exciting finals if Nakamura wins the other semifinals. Alright guys, thank you for watching and thank you for supporting our channel Charles Max Chess and Charles Max Entertainment. This is Coach Oliver. Stay safe everyone. Bye bye.